Riley, how much does it help going against that experienced O-line? And Elijah was saying how you can even trade ideas with each other sometimes after practices about what works and what doesn't.
I'd say it's helping me get to where I want to be as a player. You got those 5 guys that are going out there with the first team, and then you got 2 or 3 more that rotate in, and they're all high-level, high-experienced players. They've seen a lot. They've played against very talented people that are coming here before me, but it's been the difference for me this camp. Going up against them, getting to sharpen my edges, sharpen my tools every day, every single day. I'll get the best of them, they get the best of me. I believe Rocco said it the other day, but it's kind of our motto: iron sharpens iron, and it's been a blessing because I was literally just talking to Henry about it in the locker room. I was like, hey, I want to sit down with you and see what you see when we're out there and it's 3rd and long or whatever, and I'm getting ready to rush. What do you see from me, like stuff I need to work on? And so just hearing that feedback from them, but then also just getting out there and going after it, going after them coming after me every play, it gets you better.
What's made John Butler a good defensive coordinator for you guys?
He's fiery. He's got a lot of energy. Sometimes it's kind of chaotic because you don't know where he's at. He's out there coaching. He's being the coordinator. He's coaching the back end. I love his play calls. He gets out and he's not afraid to send some guys at the offense. But he's great to have because he knows so much about the game. Sitting in his meetings, I think I learn something new every single day. I can probably sit here and list it all off, and sometimes I get lost because I don't even know what he's talking about. But he's amazing to have because he has confidence in all of us. But then, like I said, he's going to pin his hair back and he's going to go, and that's what he wants us to do. So it's been fun to follow behind that.
What kind of jump could ask you about Kona Davis? What kind of jump could he make in year 2 of this program?
Oh, he can make a huge jump. I tell him all the time. That's someone we're counting on. We have a really good room right now, and I think a lot of people are doubting us on the outside, but inside that room, we are very confident. We kind of have a chip on our shoulder, and we don't care what people say about us. We know who we are, and that's something I talk to him about all the time because we're close. We're locker buddies, and his locker's right next to mine. Is he played last year, and he did great, but it's like really just trying to instill some of the things that I learned from Ty and Nash into him and kind of pass it on because you see him out there, he's a physical freak. He's a guy, he has a high motor and he goes. And so just having a guy like that next to you it makes it a lot easier for me to play and a lot easier for the rest of the room to play.
What do you think you got out of redshirting last year?
For me, the biggest thing from redshirting was I'd say to ease kind of my mental battle. The biggest thing for me in football has been the mental aspect of it, is just whether it's confidence, trusting yourself, overthinking on the field, this, that, and the third. But it's like redshirting last year was very hard, especially with the time it came. I thought I was going to have a big year. It came at a weird point, and then for me, it was just like I said last time I was up here, I had to embrace it fully. I had to accept it. I rolled with the punches. I realized, I said, I had 3 days on scout team to go out and play football. Why not make them the best 3 that I have? And then along with that, I didn't have pressure of like, I have to do this so I can perform on Saturday. It was, let me go have fun. I'm going to cheer my guys on Saturday. Let me go back and do it again next week. Let me just, like I said, work on some technique things, get some stuff down, and then it helped a lot because I'm going against starting O-line. So it's those guys I'm going against now, Henry, Bryce, Ben, those guys that were here last year. Ben's, he's at the Bucks right now, and that's a guy I was going against every single day. So it helped me a lot.
For you personally, what are your expectations as a leader of the defense up front? And how do you go into this rest of camp just focused on being that leader?
Yeah, expectations for us, I know for me personally how I think of it is I just kind of want to shock the world with our D-line unit and with our defense as a whole. People have a lot of things to say about us. People aren't out there every day watching us go get after it. People don't know who we have in our room, new guys, young guys, whatever it is. But we get after it, and we're going to do that this year. We want to be one of the top defenses in the country, and I think we can easily do that. Not easily, but we very much have the capability to do it if we can just live to our potential and we can go out there and we can fly around.
How has Coach Braden maybe challenged you in different ways than you've been challenged with previous coaches?
Yeah, he's challenged me because every day, even when I don't have the confidence in myself, he has it in me. And so having a guy like that it makes all the difference in the world for your game. And it's when I look at myself as a player, it's why I'm where I'm at, because I used to look at myself as kind of a run stopper guy, and I've sat in his office for 2 hours before and just talked to him, and he shows that I can be an all-around guy. I can go to the NFL, and he truly has that belief in me. So it's like on those days when I wake up and I'm like, can I do this? I didn't have a great day yesterday. Can I do this? He doesn't care. He's like, I've seen it in you. I know you have it. Now I'm going to go get it out of you. So having a guy like that, I think it means the world to me, and I know to the rest of our room. And then along with that, his experience, his knowledge of the game, where he's been at, you'd be an idiot to not listen to that guy. So,
What's gone into your physical preparation this off season? What are your goals to try to carry a bigger workload?
Yeah, this offseason, I think it was a great offseason for me. I was setting PRs and run faster than I ever have. I'm weighed more than I ever have. Lifting was great. I think for me, the big focus was try to lean up a little bit, just put on some straight muscle mass. I didn't want to just be a little chunky white guy out there. I wanted to look good. So that was my big focus, and I like where I'm at right now. For the first time in 3 years, I've held my weight through a week and a half of camp, so that's fun. I'm confident. I'm moving around great, I feel like. And then along with that, like this year, it's just, Coach Rule showed us a text from Ty the other day and talked about at the Eagles, it's 100% every play. There's no plays off. So really seeing that is like take that to practice, give 100%, 110% every play. Whether it's a 50-yard fade, I got to run to that ball because at the end of the day, I have to get myself in shape to go out there and play down in and down out when the team needs me. And that's kind of what I expect from myself is to not tap out whenever it's crunch time. We always talk about in the fourth quarter, we want to be the best team, and that's what our summer workouts, our winter workouts have prepared us for. And now it's going out there and practicing with that mindset of in the fourth quarter, in the final 5, I'm going to be the sharpest, and we're going to beat them down.
What is it like going against some of those interior linemen, not only the starters, but maybe some of those backups?
Yeah, it's great. A few of those guys like Jason, Sam, Gibby, those are guys that I came in here with. So I've been going against them too for 3 years. So it's like, we know each other pretty well. But at the end of the day, they have game experience. They've been going against Ty and Nash, so they're really developed. And so there's not much of a drop-off, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's iron sharpens iron, and that's something we focus on so much as a team just because if I'm out there giving them the best look and they're giving me the best look, we're both going to get better. Sometimes they're going to win, sometimes I'm going to win, but that's what you want out of a good team. You don't want to be just one side dominant because then you're not getting each other better.
He seems like a strong guy.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. He's fun to watch in the weight room. And out there on the field, he's strong. You get a hold of you. He's a big fella.
One of the newcomers in your room is Kate Peterjack. What have you seen from him, and do you think he has the stuff to potentially get some snaps during the season?
Yeah, I've seen a lot from him. We always mess with him. He's still a freshman. He's trying to learn the ropes, and we're trying to help him, guide him along, just teach him the little things. But he's explosive for a freshman. He's explosive. He's not scared. He's going to go out there and he's going to try to just run you over. So trying to get him away from, I had to learn it my freshman year too. Is you're not going to be able to outpower everyone now in the Big Ten, especially as a freshman. So he's learning well. He's taking everything we're telling him, everything TB's telling him. And I'm confident in him. I think we're going to need him this year, and I think he's going to be able to come out there and he's going to perform.
You mentioned that knowledge you learned from Ty and Nash. What's maybe the biggest thing you learned from those two, whether it be physical, mental, X's and O's?
I would say mental, really. Obviously I learned a lot watching their game, just sitting in meetings last year, watching their film and practice and games and all that. But I think mental, I was talking to Nash before he went to camp, so it was back in July because he was here. And, just talking about, you got to go out there and have fun. You can't make it more than it is. He told me that. He was like, when me and Ty were playing good last year, we're out there high-fiving, laughing, having fun, goofing around. And so taking that aspect of it, but then you look at the flip side, and I look at how Ty had a year last year, and he came in and he kind of had that killer mindset every day at practice and on the field. So it's a good balance of having that edge, but then not taking it over the top to where you're tense and you can't perform.
Obviously, the pass rush developed thus far, maybe particularly some of those guys coming off the edge.
It's looking really good right now. I know today we had a great day. Can't wait to go watch the film on it all and see what we can still do better. I think that's one area people are really going to question us, but we know the work we put in, and like I said, you see where our coach came from and their pass rush abilities, and he's teaching us everything he taught them. So it's like we're taking that and we're applying it to the field. We're drilling it every day in Indy, and then we're applying it to the team periods, the one-on-ones, whether it's straight rushes, games, all of that. Like, I'm confident in our pass rush. That's our big focus right now is we want to get home to the quarterback. We have a number set, and that's what we're going to get. Like on our wall in the room, we have the numbers for, I think the career sack leaders here at Nebraska. We have the most they've had in a game, most they've had in a year, and it's like those are our numbers to beat. We're going to set those.
What have you done better in the first week and a half? You said to not drop any weight for the first time in your years at Nebraska. Like what's the reason for that?
I would say my hydration is really good, which I'm normally pretty good, but then I'll start to fall off. But I like to eat a lot. I think go to Culver's a lot. Went to Culver's last night, the night before. Probably shouldn't tell Kristen that, but I love the training table too. No, well, see, that's the thing. I have to have more than 3 meals a day. So really just out there, I know how much I burn. I just walked off the field and everything is soaking wet. So it's like spending the day replenishing. I can't tell you how much water I drink, the electrolytes, and then, have to eat a bunch of protein, a bunch of carbs to give me energy for whatever we got later in the day. And then just to refuel those muscles. And then again, we're still lifting now in camp. And those lifts are a little harder because they're post-practice. You don't really feel like going in there and doing it, but you have to. So, it's really just been honestly eating whatever I can to get back into it.
Guys such as Dylan Parrot, Ashton Murphy have been in the program with you for a few years. Where have you really seen them grow, not only from just this last offseason, but since you've been here?
Yeah, I've seen him grow a ton. Like, I remember Ashton when he first came in, his first spring, which was 2 springs ago, seeing him as a player and just as a character, as a person in the room, a little shy, wouldn't talk too much, but, like, now he has a personality off the field and on the field. He's someone I'm pretty close with, and, I try to teach him some of the things I know. Like, I'm still not that guy I'm not old and wise yet. Like, I know some stuff, and I try to pass it down. But he's grown unbelievably. He's out there playing, he's mixing in with the ones, with the twos. He's getting those reps, and so it's fun because, like, he's going against some of those guys like Henry and Rocco and Just, and so getting to see him go from where I saw him when he first got here, he's a completely different player. And then same thing with Dylan. He switched over from offensive line, and it was the same spring. It was 2 years ago, and I remember we put him in there in 9-on-7, and he was just sitting there 2-gapping as a nose, and then now he's way more than that. He's learning what TB's teaching us. They both are, and they're applying it to the field, and they're all around players. They're guys we're going to count on. They're guys I have confidence in.